And so I'm live. Hello, this is yours truly, Clarissa talaga. So if I can just take off this mask for a while. Uh, this is a new app that I want to explore because this is actually what's needed to address the recurring problems that I have been dealing with for so long. So first off, today is Thursday here Philippine time, and it's the 12th of August 2021, and yeah, this is a new app for me, so I am um, playing with the settings. Hopefully, this will turn out good. Yeah. So I would like to use this opportunity to share with you the problems that crops up, which I was not able to sort out in time for us, for Direct Teddy, Zabalerio, and me to have that show supposed to be, diba, in the first quarter, second quarter of 2021. So Direct Teddy Zabalerio is the director which had helped me organize urban fashion modeling search in 2019. So 2020 had been problematic for everyone because of COVID-19. And I thought that, just like everyone else, that 2021 um, things will settle in 2021, and that 2020 will just be a blimp, di ba, in our smooth existence of business as usual. And as it turned out, hindi ganun yung nangyari. So, we have to give 2021, yeah, to COVID-19. And just as I thought that, the second quarter of 2021, we will bounce back, diba? The economy will benefit from opening up. Still, the Delta variant primarily, um, made our plans evaporate once again. So, hindi pa rin nagpwede. So, at the time that Direct Teddy was calling me up and texting private messages, hindi ko pa rin magawa na maibigay ang timeline because I was sorting out the consolidation and the legal problems that I have. Yeah, I lost my car, and then the finances. I thought that I was making the payments, and I received several notices that my payments were not getting through, and so they are business loans anyway, and I had used them in the operation of the IBC, and so I had to sort them out first. So any value that I got from the production, from the past episodes of Hello Philippines, they will be for naught. Walang pupuntahan unless makahabol ang offline work, makahabol ang mga proceedings and due processes para maging, at the very least, maging legal publication of facts. At nang sa ganon, magkaroon ng connection, what's happening online and what's happening offline. As you can see, diba, the papers on my wall are flipping with the wind because this is actually an open, well-ventilated office area. I don't have air conditioning units, so no AC. and the door is open, the windows are open. So I I would have to regard this as good workstation to spend some hours. So this is also a way for me to say that the reformatting of the episodes, the video uploads that I will be having will take into consideration the regular broadcasts that I will have through this simultaneous broadcasting. So I have this in my personal account sa FB, in my Twitter account, and in my YouTube account simultaneously. So if I would need to upgrade, for sure, I would have run it through to perfection, hopefully. So so for those calls that I have been canceling, I would, I would like to make it up by inviting you through this platform, because I am allowed 6 participants for a virtual conference such as this. And let's see how it goes from there. The transfer or the migration from plainly, from uploading canned production to having a live broadcast, live streaming, um, even if uh, direct feedback will not be possible because of the remaining technical and legal problems that we have. I'm sure we're going there. We're going towards that direction. So I have written here what I really wanted to say. Um, how long have I? According to the time check, I've been live streaming for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is really a test broadcast. What happened in the last couple of episodes that I had? I was really stretched to the limit. I was spreading myself too thinly with the shooting, with the editing, with the paperwork, and then with the direct communication, with the household chores, with the managing what goes around our small household. That at the end of the day, oh my gosh, I'd be crawling to my bed and I won't have any time left. And just 10 minutes ago, Jacqueline and JM came over, and they told me, "Have you met? Have you met someone over what you're doing? I mean, having conversations, meeting different people online. Have I met someone that I can, I can talk with in terms of, socially, privately, you know what I mean?" And I told her, I am really getting there. I told her that. And then she said, if I can spare a moment of attention na rin. Because my ex, that's her term actually, Lee said, "Mama, ang ex mo, may sugat ang paa." And he's referring, of course, to their father, Joaquin Garcia, who has sugat, sore, wound sa paa niya. And so the sisters are coming to his aid, which they should naman, because he is their father. And no matter how our relationship fared, how our marriage didn't survive, the relationship between father and daughters should remain. So I'm happy for that. And I also want to say, get well soon to June. And he is the ex that they are referring to. And the teasing that I have, that I got from Lee, is about my future. We talk about that. We girls, we females here in this household, we definitely talk about that, but I seldom share what goes in those talks because I was so hell bent on my other work, the consolidation of the business, of how I can give schedules like visa appearances, like if I'm going to be part of a live event after the lockdowns, after the advisories have been lifted, which I hope will be sooner rather than later, um, our management team will be able to honor any commitment, any contract that I will enter into, like being available not just through a Zoom, not just through virtual and online meetings, but in person, God willing. And this sustains me actually. Whenever there's a moment that it feels so, um, the routines are quite monotonous because the alternative is much, much worse. What Okay, we feel boredom sets in and we kind of be melancholic. We can't help but be melancholic at times. But still, if I think about what's the alternative, and the alternative is being locked up, having a stressful time, how an infection will fare, how will I fare if ever I get infected by the old and the new strain of coronavirus, whether some of my organs will be damaged, whether, the long haul effect will be um, what I will have to suffer for being even an asymptomatic COVID patient sometimes, because it's a new disease. Even the asymptomatic will not go scot-free because we don't know the long-term effect, like inner stamina, in the passage where it first got into us, whether I will be vulnerable to whatever immunodeficiency, immuno disease or weakness after battling with coronavirus inside my body. Because these things, the science, the jury is still out there. What and how we are going to effectively battle the battle plan, the treatment plan for COVID-19. It's still being written even at this time. So I don't want to risk it, and I am in awe of the professionalism of our healthcare workers and specialists, and they are out there in the front line with the unknowns, full of unknowns, diba? So the least that someone like me can do is go and deal with my own boredom, deal with my own mental issues, so that I will not add to the statistics of the exposure and transmission, diba? So enough data, I think, is already out there with the infection it's going. So they would need time to study the data, to settle with clinical studies. So I don't think I want to add and be a giddy, be a lab rat to be studied, to be poked. So we are praying for the healthcare workers and the frontliners who risk it, diba? Every day, day by day, they risk the the uh, the naysayers, what their effect will be for those who deny that COVID-19 is not real and it's not posing that it's all hype and it's all doom and gloom. Um, a segment of the population actually is uh, is waging a war, life and death, and that if you're going to second guess the the data and the statistics that they are fighting to get ahead of, we are not helping the cause of everyone, but our economy, of the of those who cannot work, of those who are in the hospital, and of those who are dealing with their own loss, as because they have been part and affected by the mortality rate and loss of income, loss of relationship. There's so many, diba? So I just hope that I will be given enough um, platform to share whatever insights that I will have, which I hope will somehow, as I get through my own issues and experiences, some of it will be in need of correction because let's face it, I can say to myself that I am a professional film producer and content provider. I have also managed to retain my corner in the music industry, but still, diba, some of my practices will be in need of tweaking, will be in need of correction from the professionals. And I guess that, if we all have that intellectual honesty at some point, um, we can somehow manage to hasten um, the current variant as it is. Diba? Sabi nga, the mutation is being caused by the virus being given hosts through our physical body. Diba? So they are being equipped. The longer they stay inside human host, the uh, they are having they are being given time to put on their own mechanism for survival. So, i-change nila yung configuration nila, yung setting nila, just because they have a host. So, if we prevent that from happening, di ba, na magtatagal sa katawan ng isang tao yung virus, we are going to deprive them of the chance to further adapt and mutate into new variant. So, kung hanggat maaari, di ba, ang prayers natin is, sana itong Delta variant na to, which is, my gosh, sabi nga, di ba, Vietnam had prided itself of having a good response to the first attack of the virus, diba? So many countries can say that for themselves. And yet this Delta variant had passed through, had their protocols, kumbaga diba, sa mga checkpoints, this variant had evaded the checkpoints and the protocols. So it means talaga na in some parts of the world, human hosts are giving way to the mutation. So, tama naman po yung, di ba, yung palagi sinasabi ng WHO, one prosperous country cannot do it alone because in some other part of the country, left unchecked, the human hosts will pose problems even for the first world countries like the US, like the G7, and it's what's happening actually, diba? So hopefully, with this kind of reminders for all of us, not to take it, not to take this COVID-19 as business as usual, we can, it's faster to go back, diba? Nobody really wants to be bogged down by another lockdown or by another advisory, by another travel advisory, travel ban. So, but the easiest way to do that is through information and through self-discipline, because, for example, here in our city, the problem is not isolated to one barangay, to one area, to one district. So if I will think to myself that, um, there's really no need for me to be OA, overacting in my, um, in the safety measure that I will adopt, because the problem and the danger is really not here. I think, the news said that it's out there, that it's in the neighboring town or in the neighboring country. So if we think about that, I don't think, I don't think our subconscious will follow through. But if we consciously think about those things, how I am personally responsible to help the fight so that, the economy will somehow uh, get a breathing space, parang magkaroon man lang ng time period before another lockdown, before another attack comes, di ba? So let's just, to heave a sigh of relief para lamang yung mga, like, the debts would be paid, because it's a domino effect. The moment I cannot pay my bill, those companies somehow must find a way to cope with a non-payment. Diba? So it's really, it's a chain reaction. So each of us has a role to play as a responsibility. Having said that, the past episodes, naka-season 5 na, di ba? Parang from the trial broadcast nung season 1, then nag-season 2, and then nag-season 5. But it's not sustainable as it is. I would need the help, but the situation makes it impossible. So I cannot sustain uploading the episodes as they are, but I have, the paperwork and the proceedings would have to follow them up. Take, for instance, the entertainment value. The facts that I share, the information that I share, some can be personal about me, personal, unique to my situation, and it cannot help any other person except me. Well, and for some others who will watch me, it will just be on the entertainment value, diba? Entertainment value. What I'm saying is that my discussion, my actual conversation with the person with whom I must speak with, it cannot be substituted by uploading it and randomly scattering the information with no direct recipient. What I have to do at this point in time is what I have to do at this point in time is to pass on the content of the information that had been shared already. Diba? So, take for instance, the payments that I should be receiving, the payments that my coworkers should be receiving via the electronic transaction, via GCash, via PayPal. So the fact that it's not happening, there are still some technical problems that I must uh, resolve. And it cannot, by uploading some more um, time consuming and so much effort in the production, in the hand production, will not do it for us. So, this is my way of hitting the ground running, because not everything that we can watch online is what is, diba? It may seem that we can be contained in what can be seen online, but let me be the first to discourage you on that thoughts, because so much is happening beyond the news, behind the screen, behind the monitor, behind the numbers that we can watch on screen. And the papers that I have, that we are currently, diba, submitting for a corporate management. That's one piece of news and information that I am so happy to share. My eligibility to participate, to be named as one of the incorporators, to enter into a corporate entity, finally, di ba? After such a long time, we now have a path towards the realization of a corporate entity, to be a corporate registration. And it's happening here in the Philippines, but more so in Australia and in the US as well. So I have been speaking for the last 30 minutes. Actually, it's 28 minutes and 55 seconds. So it can be done. I was guided by the bullet forms that I had written before, and then I have been speaking for the last 30 minutes. So this is actually a test broadcast brought to you by Talaga Information Business Consultancy. And with this, I say bye for now. And this will be a regular format from now on. Thank you.